Ooh, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again. I got a little bit rained on during yoga. Of course, now the rain is basically gone, but it rained a lot during the yoga. And I wanted to go get a change of clothing, but I needed to. And I think it's starting to work. So this is going to be an interesting stream. Maybe we'll actually get to experience a change in my demeanor, in the information I choose to share, in the way I choose to show up. But yeah, today's stream is going to be about change, ceaseless change, and specifically ceaseless change in the context of your awareness, right? That there are two parts of you. There is the part of you that is aware, that is paying attention to what's happening right now. And then there's a part of you that changes the body, the mind, the circumstances, the people, the situations, ceaseless change. And to try and befriend this change instead of fighting it, right? I'm feeling into the fact that the rain stopped now. Mostly. The rain is now kind of stopping, right? A change. When I would have liked that change to just happen 30 minutes earlier. And I can be angry that the change didn't come 30 minutes earlier, or I can embrace the fact that it's here now. I can change with it. It's so nice having you friends here, though. Sending you love. Let me see if I can connect to my own YouTube live. Oh, I want to hear my own voice. There we go. Natalie, it's nice having you here. Yeah, the rain is a drizzle now, even less so. Like there's actually sunlight. Look at that. It's like, oh yeah, you're done practicing yoga? How about I stop the rain now? Like it's almost like nothing. Can you hear it? There's like no rain now. It's hilarious. Maybe I'll stand in the sun for a bit. Take my coffee. And then we'll just take a step. Sam, love you. Natalie and Shan, you too. Love you friends so much. Ah, yes, Sunwriter. Thank you, Mr. Sunwright. Ooh, yeah. That hit me like some energy. Had like a little spat with my brother just as we were starting the stream. Like the TV room has like some sort of weird connection with the speakers where it makes this buzzing sound. And the buzzing sound started as I was setting up the live stream. And then I asked him, hey, dude, can you not with the buzzing sound right now, please? And then he asks me, when are you going live? And I've already, set thumbnail. I'm ready to hit the button. I'm like, I'm going live now. And he asks me, when is now? And I tell him, I stream every day at the exact same time. It's 4 o'clock. And then he's like, don't give me a snotty answer. And I'm like, but you asked me a stupid question. Oh, what do you mean, when is now? When is now? Maybe that should be the question we should be asking ourselves. When is, oh, there's a rainbow. It's so faint. I don't think I'll be able to show you even. Maybe you can see it kind of in the background. When is now? When is now? What is change? If not a ceaseless constant. Is Caddy taking a shit right now? Yeah, that's definitely what's happening. Fortunately, my line of sight has the cat covering whatever the hell's happening right now. I don't have to see. Now I just have to map that part of the grass in my brain as a landmine. Take a bow around. Oh man, yeah. I don't know why I shared the whole spat that I had with my brother, but it felt so immature. Like I don't understand why we have to do stuff like that. I guess change. Here's your map. Where's your map? Where's your map? Where's your map? Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Joy Vive, there she is. Nice seeing you too, friend. Little rainbow of hope for you, Mao. Thank you. Maybe. Can you see it? Can I see it from here? I think it's already gone. Hmm. Change, right? I was and then I stopped, and then there was a difference. Your awareness, same awareness, the exact same awareness, right? Like you didn't change. I didn't change technically, right? And yet there was a change. There was change experienced. You could elicit the response. I took too many mushies last night, Sam. Hmm, too many. How many is too many? It's interesting that you went through that experience last night, Joy V. I was called to take some LSD last night. I didn't. I ended up not taking it because I went to my dad and I asked him if he wants to take some with me, and he was like, "Nah," and I was like, "I feel called to it, Dad," and he's like, "Nah," and I was like, "Okay," and then I left it, and I ended up not taking it myself as well. I have like 2 drops left, like 2 doses. So I want to keep them to be able to take them with one of my beloved family members, either mom and dad together, or me and dad, or me and mom. And then Yuan potentially wants to come through and maybe do something as well. So I'm curious about your experience, Joy Vive. Tell me. How do you know when you arrive at too much? I'm also curious. I was beyond high. Well, I learned you shouldn't eat them like potato chips just because I bought an ounce. Hey, Google, how much is an ounce? Oh my, that is enough. That is definitely enough mushrooms. Oh goodness. Yeah. 28 grams of mushrooms. 28 grams of them. That's a few proper doses, right? Like that's at least 5 heroic doses. And a heroic dose is the dose at which what you consider reality melts. You're like, oh, I'm melting. And yet here you are, Joy V, having melted too much. And here you are to melt more still. You see. No, I don't know, please. Yeah, no, I know, I know. I know you didn't eat the whole ounce. I'm just imagining you sitting with this bag and just chowing down. Did you meet the clockwork elves? That sounds like some clockwork elves kind of dosages. I didn't, yeah. Oh goodness. How many do you like? I mean, you can weigh your ounce, I guess, and then subtract. I was melting, all right. Yeah, so much melting. Ceaseless change. How was that actually, Joy V? How was it like noticing so much change with what you consider your human experience? Right? The fact that the human being can experience something like that at all, it's a little bit absurd, right? Like if you could actually properly show someone, right, tangibly, like look at this, and you showed them the psychedelic experience, they would be like, oh hell nah, whatever that was cannot exist. I had an existential crisis. Oh, existence. How about that? I am. Share with us, JV. Even if it was a bad trip, share with us what you went through. I'm happy to still have you here. That's the thing that I'm celebrating. The fact that you could have potentially had a less than ideal trip, and yet still here you are, ready for more, right? This trip that we call life. I'm proud of you, friend. I'm really curious about the fact that I had this calling to take LSD last night as well. Papa? Okay, he's not close by. I wanted to confirm with him, with you friends, that I asked him if he wants to take LSD with me last night. I wonder, right? And this is not just me thinking from egoic perspectives. If I did take LSD last night, I wonder if your experience would have been different. It'd be so cool if we actually know. Have you feet? Have your feet landed? Are you back on Earth? Are you a human again? Right. That's the way me and my friends articulate it to each other. Is I have to remember how to human. Oh yes, I am bipedal human being that needs to mush food with my face stones and then swallow the pulp so I can process. And I can only eat one, well, out of three different building blocks: fats, proteins, and sugars. What? What? Well, imagine we lived in a world where the human being could just eat anything. You could just eat rocks and extract energy from it if you wanted to. That would be sick. Shinansky, I'm trying to picture their trips and just see old school comics showing awesome psychic and energy powers. It was edibles. I tried to watch Wakanda Forever, turn it off after 5 minutes. I ended up sweating and say, oh God, no, for about 5 hours. You know, what's the thing that I'm thinking about, Joy Vive, and this is bias, of course. You, Craig, right? I love you, Jovan as well. The thing that's coming to me right now is fighting, right? Like I feel, and this is my projection, of course. So do let me know if you're like Melty, you're completely projecting. When I try and fight the change that I am so painfully aware is now happening, instead of oh God no, I just say oh God yes, yeah, more melting, right? Like that's I'm serious, Joy Vive. That's why melt more is so important to me as a mantra of like melt more. Oh yeah, I know you're losing your tits right now. Do it more. Oh yeah, I know everything you thought about your life, about who you are, about what you're supposed to be doing, all of it melting right in front of your eyes. Good. Let it melt. You will still find yourself. The you that you are hasn't ceased being, Joy Vive. I can still feel the energy that is Joy Vive here with me. Thank you, Shannon and Nana, for the tag. I don't know if you're still here, Peaches, but good morning to you too, friend. Sending you good vibes. Yes, grandma. Joy Vive, the scenes in that for the plant might have been too much. Yeah, it's a lot. Just thinking back about the movie, it was a lot watching it as well. Like the amount of what was happening. Adamantium, yo. It's too cool. Remember how to human is hard work? Oh yes. Oh yes, it is. I I feel I have irreversibly damaged myself with how to human properly sometimes, and that I will just never get to be normal again. Maybe that is the worry. Maybe that's why we fight it sometimes, Joyviv, is we, from a societal place, have become convinced about what it means to be normal, right? And then we get ourselves in a mind melting space where we're like, this is so far beyond what I considered my human experience. What if it's always like this, right? And that question comes with two different perspectives as well, where it's like it should always be like this is one response. That's my response usually. I'm like, it should always be like this. How do I figure out a way for it to always be like this, ceaselessly. And then the other one is like, oh my, it's always gonna be like this. Oh no, it shouldn't always be like this. So please take me back. And yet it's the exact same experience you're having in that moment, and two dualities arise with what you feel, what you make your truth, right? Is it fear or is it love? And it's not a judgment, it's more a reflection, right? It's like, I'm not trying to be like, yeah, you suffer because you're living in fear, right? It's like, maybe, just maybe, we suffer because we live in fear, right? Let's look at this. Not being like, yeah, pointing thing at you, being like, oh, look at this thing. Oh, Rafa, fear? Hmm, fear. Maybe I should put this down. And I feel like the psychedelic experience, unfortunately, really shows you how picking up the fear and going is very correlative, so intertwined. And weirdly enough, sometimes it's nice being that manic, feeling like you've lost your mind, because then you come back to a moment like this and you're like, ah, yes, I can watch Wakanda forever, right? Mm, yeah, I can watch Wakanda forever, and I can be like, cool, movie. And sometimes you want to go back to that. I had this conversation with like Johan and Christian as well, during our festival, Joy Vive, where I took some, we took a single drop of LSD each, and I was like, oh my, what the hell is going on right now? This feels like I took 10 of these drops of LSD. I even had like a whole paranoid trip about the person who sold us them, you know, double dosed or quadruple dosed them. And I'm like, realistically, he wouldn't do that because it would cost him money and you would get more LSD for less money. So probably not. And then I just kind of chucked it up to the energy of the space and the intentions that we put forward up until that moment, the amount of time we took, kind of like anticipating that moment, the build up in energy, the stuff that was happening, etc., etc., etc. And I remember I was sitting on that little balcony watching the rain just come down, there being this beautiful mountainside and like lightning striking it. And even that was almost too much. Christian at one point like sits and he's like, boys, I can see the air. And we look at him and we're like, oh, how about that? I can't see you. Like you can see someone like the net, the fabric of reality that's holding us all together here starts becoming visible to you, and you're like, oh my. And I say to them, and then I can hear my friends losing their minds a little bit, tripping the fuck out. I'm like, don't worry, boys. We'll be able to watch series again. We'll be able to play games. We'll be able to eat food. This is temporary. This is temporary. Is that a Connor? You got a new profile picture, dude? I can't see that small, but it looks like some psychedelic dude. Very fitting. Love you. Thank you for joining us, Connor. My friend came by to pick up my rent check and drop it at my landlord for me. I recall shouting at him about how hot I was and hanging onto the door jamb because I couldn't stand up straight. Oh goodness, how many of them did you eat? That sounds like you were like entering, kind of like pushing serotonin syndrome levels, where you're like literally, your body is like producing heat. And mine does too. Weirdly enough, with festivals, like when I go to festivals like that, for some reason it starts raining and then the rain cools me down. And then because of the amount of body heat my body is producing in that state, there's like this layer of steam that comes off my body. And I feel like a super saiyan. I love it. It's so cool. Yeah. So stay cold. I hope you took like a cold shower in that moment. I mean, if you have to hold onto the door jam to hold yourself up, maybe shower isn't the best idea. Maybe not more chippy measures. No more chibi mushrooms. I go on days with shroomies like twice a year, and I'm overdue. I could use a slap of existentialism, just a little bit of, what the hell am I doing? What the hell's going on? I don't know anything. Maybe I should be more open. That's like the psychedelic trip for me summed up. Is that a see you, friend? What's serotonin syndrome? Serotonin syndrome is when you have so much serotonin in your brain that your entire body temperature raises to the point where you can like start denaturing proteins. But the fact that you were conscious means that you're completely okay. Like when that happens, people usually go unconscious. That's like the bad way of using a psychedelic, but you have to really overdo it. Like people take an excess of like 30 grams and still, end up being okay. So I'm sure you're okay, JV. But it could have been partially because like what helped with your less than ideal experience. It was cold outside, right? I don't know how hot you had your heaters cranked up either, though. How are you, friend? Love you, dude. We are glad you came back to Earth, Joy Vive, that we are. I got them from this church on the other side of town. The mushrooms, that is, I'm guessing. Chocolates and savor them and portion control. Yeah, I looked at the menu and asked for the strongest mushies they have. It's my own damn fault. They probably gave you some like, apes or penis envy mushrooms, which basically have like double the amount of psilocybin content that normal, Cubenza strains have. So I'm not completely surprised that you got fire on my laser. I'm sorry to hear it though. It's never nice to get a little bit traumatized by these experiences. But, and I'm going to keep iterating this, when I have an experience that almost kind of, puts me into an existential crisis, I come back to reality with such a deep appreciation for it. Like DMT does that, all right? Like imagine that whole existential crisis you had, but all of that condensed into 15 minutes. Like getting very viscerally told that you actually know nothing, right? And then you're not told you know nothing directly. It's more people are trying to teach you things. You are trying to teach yourself things. The universe is trying to communicate to you, and you realize you know so much nothing that you don't even understand, at least permanently, the thing that's being communicated to you. You're like you're getting this information transfer. And you're like, uh-huh, yeah. Yeah, and then 5 minutes pass and you're like, what? What? I felt a deep sense of significance and epiphany like moments ago. What was that? And your brain is like, yeah, you don't know. You don't know anything. You know nothing. Oh, goodness. For anyone who needs a cold thought, it is minus 40 degrees Celsius here right now. Like my brain refuses to understand. Like in the same way, like that's like psychedelic information. Like for anyone who needs a cold thought, it is right now. What? 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 Yep. Minus 40. The coldest I've experienced is -5, right? Took pictures with my BlackBerry curve of the -5 temperatures. I was like, what the fuck? It's -5 right now. I was like, no. Oh, hell no. And I guess it's like an exponential thing with coldness, right? In the same way that it's an exponential thing with heat, where if it goes above 30 degrees Celsius, then every degree above that is just torture, torture on top of the torture. And I'm guessing it's the same thing with to the minuses as well. I don't have much experience, but Golden Teacher is my jam. Rad as ever, Oven. Rad as ever, Oven. I don't know what that means, but yes, I agree. Golden Teachers is basically 60% of all of my mushy experiences. That was the mushroom that found me first, right? I bought mushrooms with my friends. I asked them to help me the first time, and the only thing they had for me was Golden Teachers, and I was like, oh well, guess it's mushrooms, and I had a cool time. And the second time, I upgraded to 3 grams, and the only mushroom they had was golden teachers. And I was like, okay, went for it. And then pretty much every trip since, like once I bought 100 grams, it was like 25 rand for 100 grams, which is like 10, 11 cents, 11 cents, dollar cents, right? Yeah, no, 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 I'm tripping. A dollar, sorry, like a dollar 11. I tripped out for a second with the conversion rates. A dollar 11 for a gram. So I bought 100. Those were some of the best mushies I've ever had, and they were also all golden teachers. I have experienced some different ones now, but the different ones that I experienced, I had to manifest myself. I don't know why, but I think golden teachers grows well here in South Africa potentially, and they grow easily as well. Loizana, been thinking about you, friend, sending you good vibes. I spent half the day yesterday listening to stuffs about the power of sound and frequency while doing stuff around the house, and listening to it all made me so much sense to me and had a whole experience. You were also having a psychedelic experience. Think about it. Think about it, Shan. You're living in a world, right? And then within this world, you have a piece of technology, a tablet, a cell phone, a computer. And then that thing has a membrane that is attached to itself. It has an air pocket behind it, and then the air pocket in front of it is your entire world. And then with electrons, it fires signals in ones and zeros that moves this membrane, right? Literally putting waves, frequencies into your world that you get to absorb with your body in your ears. We used to have like crystal, we still have crystal balls, right? But that was like the highest form of technology where you would have a ball that would make these frequencies into your environment. And imagine being like a prehistoric human hearing something like that, right? A tone coming from the universe that you've never heard before, sustained. Maybe a person can do it for a while, but not like that. And now we have these devices that can do it for us, that you can go and do research. Like I honestly believe even, and we'll see if this pans out. I honestly believe that the future we're heading into will probably use sound as medicine, right? Imagine getting in like a machine that has like a bunch of micro little speakers that go super close to your body, and then with waves in different frequency pitches, your body gets like oscillated like at 15 hertz or something. For instance, cats, when they purr, they vibrate at like 15 hertz, which is proven to be flesh rejuvenating, right? So instead of having to generate those frequencies yourself, and I do believe we do when we speak, right? That frequency is like in you. So what you say becomes coded into your body on the one direction, and then you also code into the outward world, right? Onto you right now. Like the frequencies of my voice is over your body right now. I'm sorry. So the future of medicine could be that. Could be this getting into like a machine and then getting vibrated, like, and we already know with like ultrasonic type of vibrations that we can tune like certain fleshes, right? Like your bone or your muscle or your capillaries or your blood, they can vibrate at frequencies. Like glass can do that as well, right? Where you can vibrate glass to the point where it snaps itself. It oscillates so fast that it breaks. So what we found out is that cancer cells have a different frequency than the rest of the flesh around them. So you can beam those frequencies at that cancer, disintegrating it, literally it ripping itself apart as it gets into synchronicity with the frequency you're putting onto it. And the rest of your healthy flesh doesn't oscillate at that same frequency. So it stays unscathed. We're living in cool times, is what I'm saying. Change. We're going to experience a lot of change. Me and you, us, as the me and you I'm talking about, these human beings that are living on Earth right now are going to experience some of the most significant and radical change that humanity has ever seen. We already have, right? Literally in your lifetime, the internet has become a thing. You have a piece of technology that fits in your pocket that is a computer, a camera, a calculator, a communication device. Just those things alone. What the hell? This is the start. We're like, oh wait, excuse me. Oh wait, let's do the things. Crazier and crazier, more and more change. So much change. And the flashlight. The flashlight is dead, Natalie. I've thought about that recently, so I'm happy that you're saying that. The flashlight is officially dead. We're using our cell phones. You scroll down and you push a button, and now you have light. What? It's just imagine going back literally 100 years, just 100 years. If you want to get super ridiculous, 200 years, right? Just 2 humans ago. You go back 2 humans ago. You show them you have a little black box that when you press a button on it, I don't even know if they'll understand button. Maybe you press a button on it, and then the black box turns into a world that you can see into. And then you can scroll this world down, and then out of the infinity of things you could do, you activate a fractal that generates light into your environment. They used to have to make fire to do that. Oh my god, they would even melt their actual brains. They would be like, so you're God. Sick. Why didn't you start with that? I would have been like super on board the whole time. You have become powerful beyond what any other human being before you has ever been able to. Z. Love you, friend. I don't know if you were here. You were. Sorry for missing you. Z the 420 Shaman. I like the update of username, dude. The 420 Shaman. I don't know if you know. How could you? You're not reading my mind right now. Are you? Z. Stop reading my mind. I want to actually make yoga content that is going to be kind of like stoner based, right? Where I'll encourage people to take an edible or smoke a joint with me, and then we'll practice yoga. So not exactly 420 shamaning, but I thought that could be a cool niche, as a potential vector to generate some income. The magical plant. I took some edible oil today. I'm really feeling it. I'm feeling pretty good though. I'm feeling pretty good. I hope I'm not sounding too insane, because I'm painfully aware that I do sound insane. Thank you, Joy V, for all of the waves you're sending me as well. I feel like I'm unpacking. Unpacking your mushroom trip, knowing that you went through it right now. Melty, I have so much stuff to talk to you about. I decided to make you a Loom video instead of sending a giant message. Also, I wanted to show you a self-published book I made a few years ago. I'm so down for all of those words. Thank you for letting me know, Loisna. It's nice having you here, friend. Natalie, thank you for cleaning that up. I was so confused. I recall that I was talking to Sam last night on Discord voice, and Lord knows what kind of madness I was talking about. I don't recall our conversation at all. It really was joy. And made me understand why I have such a deep love for music and sound, how truly powerful sound is. I'm happy that I could tune into that fractal with you as well, Shan. Melty, you have so much. The vibrating machine sounds fun, right? It's probably going to be a little bit erotic, even. I'm sorry. You thought it first. I'm just saying what's on your mind. I thought that everything in creation is created by sound. It's amazing. There we go. Yes, this is a song. The uni one verse. The one song. The birds. My voice. Pippi licking her own foot. Your heart beating. The sound of your breath. The potential sound of your hair slowly growing. Have you thought about that? I haven't until this very moment. There we go. More weirdness. Do our bodies make sound when they grow? We can knack our back and stuff, right? My mind is all over the place right now. I use that as a flashlight. I got problems here. I read that as flashlight. Oh, goodness. Joy Vive, maybe the existential crisis is continuing. This is just the never-ending trip right now. No thanks, I'll burn you for a witch. Exactly. Ceaseless change is the river that flows through the Grand Canyon. taking away bit by bit, making something beautiful. All right. When we festival slash camp, we bring spare flashlights and find a safe spot for the phones to live until we want pictures. That's a fantastic idea, Natalie. I applaud you. The amount of cell phones that have gotten lost at festivals of friends of mine is so absurd. It's almost a joke. If someone tells me they lost their cell phone while they're at a festival, I almost don't even know how to respond. I'm like, that thing that happens at festivals. Okay. Like it's almost like I don't have empathy because I am the type of person who do the same thing you do, Natalie. I like leave it in the spot, right? Cell phones, little black box, small little fractal fraction of this universe. When you're the entire universe, things get lost. You know, surprise, surprise. They're still here with you ultimately. You know, that's the joke. That's why they get lost because you realize nothing can really get lost. Not actually, because it's still going to be here now, right? And then you're like, yes, I don't have to pay that much attention because I'm paying attention to everything. So you do things responsibly. You're like you're aware that you're gonna be in that state of mind, and then you almost like have to baby yourself because you become a child. You become an actual not like you behave like a child, but the amount of fascination you have for the world, the insight you have about your own experiences from being a child. It's like opening up this childlike self, you know, open your heart. And yeah, an open heart can definitely lose some things. Magic plant. Oh yes, I have 1 ounce of mush in home. One ounce. So what are the odds that Z also has an ounce? Joy V. Seems like ounces are popular these days. I typed it and double checked. The book we're going to make, your first 365 flowers, pics, and poems, will appear to stoner culture too. I think. I think so. I do think so. Right, and I feel like there's probably going to be more stoners in our world than ever. And I will encourage people to keep it to a certain time of day. Imagine, again, this is just me egoically projecting, so do bear with me. I'm sorry, but I'm imagining a world where I have like a whole kind of catalog of content, like yoga videos, where I smoke a little bit of my joint at the start of the stream or the start of the yoga. You know, we go through like 20 minutes, we take a break, we sit and breathe, maybe like take another puff if we feel the need to. And then that is how we choose to use cannabis, maybe. Like I feel cannabis can definitely help you be very relaxed. But as an aid to exercise or to yoga, it really is amazing. Here you go. Took a tick off. Took this tick off of you. What would you have done without me, Peppers? So yeah, thank you, Loizana, for echoing that fractal as well. More, more connections are being made in my brain. I feel them. Mm-hmm. R/trees might like it. I should actually post to subreddits. I keep forgetting that that's something I can do. Little by little, I'll figure out how to social medias, how to content creator. I really, I really struggle with trying too hard. I feel. Oh. Right, and I'm not saying I struggle with I try too hard all the time. I struggle with having to try hard. I'm like, oh, isn't that going to be desperate? I say to myself. If I try hard, is that desperate? This is too much for me right now. I have to confront. Let's sit with it. If I try too hard, am I desperate? Why am I trying hard in the first place? Because I believe in myself, right? And I keep myself to a certain high standard. And then if I try hard, am I scared that the way people will perceive me is as desperate instead of someone who tries hard? Maybe I should realize that that is a self created perception and projection. One, that communicates more about myself than it does about the other person. And two, if that is their interpretation, that communicates more about them than it does about me. Okay, fine. I'll try harder. I'll try even harder. I'm playing a comically small rainbow flower petal covered ukulele right now to wake my brain up with you folks. Funny visuals. That sounds so beautiful. I got transported reading that sentence. Thank you, Duck Dan. Mm. Sounds wonderful, right? They can buy another one, another cell phone. This is true. We do. It just sucks having to buy another cell phone. A cell phone is an investment. Like this cell phone that's running the U now is 5 years old. This one is going on its third year, right? And I'm not getting a new cell phone until these ones don't work anymore because I feel the cell phone has kind of like reached a limit. Like you're not gonna get that much. It's like, what do you call it? Diminishing returns at this point. You're gonna pay big monies to get small improvements now. So I'll rather wait for 5 years, 6 years, and then get the accumulative big improvements for probably still a lot of monies. Freaking want my monies. And you know, I was like thinking about this. Like we live in an age where we went capitalism, right? And that we can talk about that all day. Let's not. But at the same time, this capitalism generates toys, things that are more appealing to your money than we've ever had before, right? Think back 200 years. If you're affluent, what are you going to buy, right? Maybe some handmade trinkets, maybe some nice art, maybe some jewelry, maybe some nice foods, which we basically all have in comparison to what they were eating at that point, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You are living like royalty right now. But then along with that, they want even more of your money, right? So the things that can be purchased by your money have become so elaborate that you want them, right? So it's this juxtaposition of, yes, capitalism, but also you like that. You really like it. You like having access to devices like this, right? I really like having this microphone on me. And I drop the gain to -8 decibels. I feel like maybe the microphones are too crunchy. So let me know what you think about the audio today. If it's better, because I think even though the microphone gain drops, the feed gain stays the same. So it might stay the same volume relatively, but this will pick up less. So let me know what you think today. So another tangent, right? Like this is now technology that's been developed and I'm experimenting with it. I'm trying to learn how to be a good user of this technology, how to implement my tools in a way that uplifts the social good, right? And I've reached a level where I don't want things anymore, lest it helps me create, right? And I'm trying to think if I was wealthy 200 years ago, and I've reached this point, right, where I have at least food to eat, I have a place to sleep, I have family, what would I continue spending money on? And now the tools to create with have become so elaborate and so useful that people that used to not need to spend money are spending money again, right? Like I don't know if I'm communicating this trip I'm going through properly. Yes, capitalism, but also tools. And with these tools, we can and have made the world a better place, and we can continue to do so, right? Sam's quote of, it's okay to participate in a broken world while working to fix it, instantly comes up to my mind. So we thank you for that. It's been very present. Was wondering what a pepper called a firecracker pepper, and in my rabbit hole ended up coming across a bunch of peppers I haven't seen before. Then you came to mind because, well, peppers. The fact that now forever, in my mind as well, chili plants, and it's not exactly the same fractal, but we have a few chili plants in our garden as well, like some habaneros, some typer reapers. Like it was also one of those chilies that kind of like curl into themselves. Like the point is like it's like bulbous, and then the point curls into itself. So you know that thing is wacky. I took like a piece of one of them, and I was like, the amount of capsaicin. So, and I was like thinking about duck dad as well. I'm like, yeah, duck dad. So chili peppers forever will be divinely interconnected with duck dad. So wherever we see them, we'll see you, brother bear. Thank you for connecting the fractal, for showing up for your fractal, dude. It's super cool. Something like, I believe I'm not mistaken, it's the mini Tabasco plant, sort of. Super happy to be in your pepper space, Tabasco. I like Tabasco as well, Joy V. Ceaseless change, do 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 do, do 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 do. Hi friends, hi you. Thank you, Lolo, for joining us. It's nice having you, friend. You're doing great, Mel. Love you. Thank you, Shan. I know. I take moments where my ego realizes something is happening, right? Like instead of there being flow, my ego was like, wait a second, the fuck's going on right now? And then I have to be like, by tripping him out even more, be like, yeah, because you put your head up, you suck. Smaller. And then he trips out for about that for a second. And then flow starts happening. Yes. Melting. Who am I? I am no one. I am melting. What? Yes. We believe in you too, Melty. You can't control what other people think about you or what you do in life. I know, Joy V. Thank you. I know. I just have to remind myself. I have to compartmentalize and logic myself through it step by step. Be like, and that's literally my mushroom and acid trips as well. That thing I just did, where I logic myself through why I trip out about something. Imagine that, at 100x speed for all of the things I bullshit myself with in my life, and I'm like, and then I pace. I pace like a manic person, and I like people think I'm having a bad time, and meanwhile I'm having the time of my life, getting to face my own bullshit, getting to melt, getting to be like fire my laser at parts of myself. David, thank you for following me, friend. One of my best friends in the world is called David. I need to send him a message again. He's working now. He just finished university. Me and him went to high school together. What a dude. I love him so much. It's nice that you connected me to that fractal again, David. Love you, dude. Thank you, Caliber, for joining us too. I also stream on YouTube. If you want a little bit of a better viewing experience, potentially a better audio experience, I'm live on YouTube at Meltmore, same username. You're trying so hard because of love. Yes, yes. Because it's something I believe in, right? And I wouldn't believe in it if love wasn't true. Who needs tears? It's been a while. It's nice seeing you now. Love you, friend. Good vibes to you. We believe in you too, Melty. Control, sorry. I only get Doug. I'll send you a link to the hot sauce I'm obsessed with. It's so close to perfect one for me. It's almost like I dreamed it into creation. Me looking at Corey, looking at me, looking at Corey, looking at me, looking at Corey. You. Oh my goodness! I only get a new cell phone when I can't update it anymore. My Spotify app won't work anymore. That's my breaking point. You're like, oh fine. Guess I'll get a new one. Yeah, diminishing returns, right? Depends on what you use it for. Hey, Reese, Nuki, thank you for joining me. And truly, it's nice having you here too, friend. Sending you good vibes. Hello! It's nice to see the energy, friend. I'm gonna iterate again. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record. I do live stream on YouTube, and I tend to be a little bit more present at the comments on the YouTube side. I can't touch you, friends, but I can technically touch the YouTube comments. Love you. Meltmore, same name on YouTube if you want to join us there. I keep doing it, Stefan. Corey, heck yeah, I'm into it. Ukulele is in the Discord for viewing pleasure. Thank you, Doug Dad, for sharing that with us, friend. It's a happy little uke. I'm a happy little uke. Only $34, but I'm so bright and happy. Of course, it's only $34. Wow, I'm surprised. Audio sounds deeper, more full, maybe because I'm picking up less bug and bird sounds. Perfect level for ASMR. Hint, hint. Stop planting those seeds. I really, actually, unironically, spent time thinking about that today. I was like, am I actually supposed to do that? Am I gonna? Thank you. I might even drop it more for the ASMR. It goes like down to minus 12 decibels. A part of me kind of feels sorry that there's less bird sounds. So I'm gonna do something potentially controversial. I'm gonna give the birds more of a voice than I have. They'll basically have a voice an order of magnitude louder than mine, like double, literally. I think every 6 decibels, the audio volume doubles. But this microphone only uh, has like standard gain. So we'll notice this is what this one sounds like. All right, this is potentially significantly louder, and I wonder how much worse it sounds. But I'm gonna take this. You think it's gonna be wind? It looks kind of clear right now, but I'm going to go and hang it up here. There's an iron wire that is spun to dry clothing, and there's a little microphone. There we go. So I hope the wind doesn't mangle the audio, because I don't really want to put on the windshield. I probably should. Should I? If you hear a single wind sound, please do tell me. Then I'll go and put on a windshield. But I want you to hear the burps. I absolutely want to hear burps. There we go, Lois. I knew it. Ooh, man, I actually cooled myself down moving just now. Melt asks for feedback on sound while I'm still just so impressed as it's not picking up crackles on wind for this mic. I'm so happy about that. Right? Like, and even if there's like a little bit of wind, the audio birds and bugs got loud. Too loud or just loud? Because they're supposed to be loud. That was intentional. But I hope that it's not too loud. I can see that they're coming through, basically at the same order of magnitude that I am probably. Audio sounds deeper, so you know what that thing is, wacky. I'm totally going to explain hot peppers to people. Please do. The capsaicin, I'm guessing. I'm tripping out. I must depart. Have a wonderful 24-hour period until we meet again, people. I look forward to spending a moment with you again, Brother Bear. We'll see you soon. I like the title for today's topic. I'm sure it missed a lot of goodness. I like the title for today's topic. I'm sure I missed a lot of goodness. You're here. You're not, never missing anything, right? And I feel that's almost something I want to stress. You are ceaseless change, dear friend, right? And that is what's beautiful about you. That ceaseless change is novelty. And as the observer, the only thing that is valuable to you is novelty in a weird way. The masculine side likes novelty. It likes seeing, feeling, experiencing new things from that observer perspective. So even though, from my egoic perspective, I would like to believe that you missed a lot of conversation, you aren't missing out on life because you're living it. And no matter how you choose to live that life, it's going to be good. All you have to try and do is make it more so, right? And the way you do that, in my personal opinion, is to show up for love, right? In every moment, ask yourself, is love true? The thing I'm thinking, the thing I'm doing, the thing I'm saying, the thing I'm experiencing, etc., etc. Just loud. Okay, I can, fortunately, drop the volume from here. So I can go transmitter setting, I can go transmitter gain, and I can go here. That's maybe too much. How's that? Technology. Remotely, I bring the gain down of a microphone. To your sound and creation common to an extent I would agree, but more to vibrations rather than sound. Frequencies have the power to create Our brains send frequencies into the universe, and depending on the frequency our minds are running at and what we're trying to bring into creation, the more effective it is. I agree. Your intention generates creation, right? The world as you are experiencing it is a self created fractal. You, as the fractal generator, your brain, the fractal generator. Mm-mm. Bugs and sounds, just loud. I missed the what. Hoping it's better now. Uh, the fun and games until the cutlotters join in. Exactly. Don't summon them, Jovan. The cutlotters, cat laughing verbs. Yeah, it's beautiful. You said it perfectly. Their song is unique. It's like they kind of like hype each other up and then they scream at each other's faces. Like almost like that, basically. And it makes me lose my mind. I'm like, Russ, can you not go and do that somewhere else, please? They do make nice sounds alone, though. That's the weird thing. If they're alone, solo, calling, to some chica or something, then their bird sounds are kind of fine. But when they conglomerate, and I don't know if they're having maybe they're singing. Maybe I'm just, you know, tripping out. Maybe they're singing a beautiful song at a frequency that I don't recognize as beautiful, and they're like freaking coming together and busting rhymes. Scare, scare, mask, mask, scare, 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 squat, ski, squat, papa, squat, ski, squat, squat, papa, squat, ma, ski, ski, map, scare. Scare mask on a mask away. But feels like, bro, what are you doing? Any more mongoose sightings? I haven't seen it again, but I still want to show you friends. Like, unfortunately, I just followed you on YouTube. Thank you, Reese. I appreciate you, friend. Where are you from? South Africa. Sorry for missing your comments. I got Twitter and Insta and YouTube that I just made. I'll follow you. Thank you, Reese, for the love. There's no expectation, of course, but we have to do the things. Do the things and stuff. Try hard. Try harder a little bit, at least. Shanansky to yourself. I think I've heard the one. Is the mini rainbow still there? No, unfortunately, it was like there for a second. When the rain stopped, there was still like the rain that was falling was a little bit to that direction. So the sun kind of shined through it onto that little mountainside behind the trees. But it was like super faint and you could only see it because of the mountain kind of like casting a shadow. And I knew that it wasn't gonna be perceivable. It does look like there's a rainbow happening here though, with the exposure shifting as I move in and out of frame. Just stripping out for a second. I thought it was so nifty, the old mandalas and the visual of the ancient sounds of our ancestors. How about that? All right, sacred geometry as well. Right, like you can literally induce you can take a sheet of metal, for example, and then vibrate it at certain frequencies and pour sand molecules or sand grains over it. And then depending on the frequency you put into that steel plate, it will have oscillating groups, that cancel each other out. So where the energy is less concentrated, the sand will kind of gather, right? It will like be like a safe zone, and then those safe zones become these beautifully intricate patterns. Hey Google, can you show me photos of sound visualized with sand? Boom! Look at that. Isn't that sick? So yeah, sound. Make good sounds. You're literally making patterns into the universe. The better the sounds, the better the creation. I had our session 0 last night for the D&D campaign. I'm excited. Why is it being lawyerable to a lot going to help to make for a fun camping. Lots of fun things going through my mind. The creativity that it stimulates, right? I know that you've been here for a while. I just want to, I don't know why, but say hi, Corey. It's nice having you here, brother Bear. Sending you just double love, man. I'm happy to feel that excitement. I love those videos. I was just going to mention them, right? We live in a crazily beautiful world. The bird sounds. The bird sounds. Apparently, they sing at frequencies where if you slow it down in a certain way, it sounds like human voices. And apparently, the same thing is true for dolphins, right? Like it sounds like songs almost, like human songs if you pitch it down in frequency. Some change in my life. I finally taught the feral kittens I've been feeding for the past 6 months. Finally caught the feral kitties. It's been a ton of work, but very rewarding. How crazy. You weren't even here. Who Needs Tears? But yesterday, we talked with Jovan and Joyviv, who both have been feeding feral kitties and have been trying to, adopt them as well. So the fact that you also went through that fractal, thank you for being such a beautiful mama to the world. We know what you're talking about, Mel. It blows my mind. I just had to show like a little visualized fractal in this moment, since I can now, right? I can actually do that. Mm, I am departing now. Continue to be good patrons of the universe. Natalie, I will if you do too. Love you, friend. Thank you for spending some time with us. Send love to Clover, Terra Nova, and I need to say your boy's name a few more times before it's gonna stick in my brain. Her children have such unique names. Nova. What a sick name that is. Clover sounds lucky in my mind, right? And that's obviously cultural conditioning. And then Terra Nova just sounds like a force of nature. Terra meaning Earth, technically, and Nova being like an explosion in my mind, right? Like a supernova. Yeah. The Earth explosion as a human being. I think I'm missing a few. Oh, I love knowing that. I'm happy to be sharing with you, friend. That's great. Tears. Proud of you for not giving up and putting in all the work. So much love. Have a great day. She's a she is a force of nature. Of course she is, and she's going to make the world a better place with her being here. Thank you, Natalie, for literally offering your body as a portal for that being to come into this world with us. Whoa, what the hell? Yo? Like I realize that every single time I think about my own mom, and yet it's good to remind ourselves how strong you mothers are. We're probably going to see lab grown babies as a part of the change in our lifetimes. And I don't completely know how I feel about that. I don't know that I'm completely opposed to it, mostly from this perspective that a lot of women die during childbirth, right? A lot. More people than you realize die during childbirth. Hey, Google, what are the statistics of women dying during childbirth annually? Yeah, about 295,000 women died from childbirth in 2017. 300K human beings. That is bonkers. 26 deaths per 100,000 live births for America, 9 for UK, 9 for Portugal, 9 for Germany. So it's still relatively a low number, right? 9 out of 100,000 women that give birth, but still, that's 9 human lives that tried to bring life into this world and then died, right? And that's a risk you take. That's again one of the powerful things about being a mother is you know about that and you still go through with it. Like that is strength. That is willingness to accept change in a way that I don't know if I'll ever be able to as a man. Having a child literally grow inside my body. Like excuse me? Like we change by gaining a few pounds and losing a few pounds, and that's usually the most radical change we experience bodily after we become adults. And now as a woman, suddenly an entity spawns inside of your body, and it spawns to the point where you can literally see it bulging. That is like radical. That is such crazy change. And as the observer, She's willing. That's some power. Love to all mothers of the world. Love to all mothers of the world. Sending you so much love, dear friends. You want to pull some sacred geometry cards? Let's see. Let's see what the universe has to say. Probably that is okay. Let me just see. Skiwop. Skiwop de whoop. You know what? I think it's time to shuffle the deck again. You're good. I'm from the US. How cool. I think a lot of the friends that tune into this space are either from the US or from the UK. We have a few friends that live in Australia. Some friends live in Tasmania. Some friends live in Israel. We haven't seen ST in a while, though. It's been a while since we've seen ST. Since Sane is living in the UK, he hasn't been here in a while as well. Just send him a message as well. Send him some love. I'm gonna get lost in thinking about your friends, thinking about Jem as well. I think of Burf like the alien chest buster monster. I'm gonna lie if I said that I didn't, at least for a few moments, I have that thought as well. And yet the woman accepts that with love, right? Literally having the alien chest buster moment for yourself as a human being. I think Nova is in Brazil. Really? I'm happy that you're letting me know. I didn't know where Nova was. I thought Nova was in Australia for some reason. But I have a friend that lives in New Zealand as well, Armand. I don't, like he tunes into the stream sometimes. Actually, he might even be here now. Are you here, Armand? No, it's not. Maybe in the future though. I think it's absolutely necessary to grow. I think it's absolutely necessary to have a baby grown outside of the mother's womb. Then I think if it's absolutely necessary to have a baby grown outside of the mother's womb, then it's okay. But I think it's important to both mother and child for it to be natural. The sound, the moms are important to the baby. I feel like you can like play your baby music as well, right? And you can sing to your baby, and your baby can hear your voice as you're speaking it. And surely you can have speakers that speak your voice to the baby as well. And technically, it could be seen as indistinguishable. You just have to send the right sounds. You can send the best possible parts of yourself, right, as sound, lovingly into your baby when your baby is in a vat, right? And I know that sounds yikes, but it could technically prove to be beautiful. But then again, maybe our babies need some of the bad as well, some of the losing your mind and getting frustrated and screaming and maybe eating some junk food, which I doubt. But yeah, if it's going to save people's lives, then who am I to say that people's lives shouldn't be saved, right? From a barbaric perspective, I'm thrilled to the end of the widening field for insults. Yo mama jokes are classic, but I've got some scorchers about lab grown meat I'd like to try out. You're gonna have to scorch me with those lab grown meat, insults, because I'm probably gonna be one of the people that, really start eating it seriously first, right? I'm gonna be like, yeah, you should be eating lab grown meats. Maybe I'll make cooking videos. How to make your lab grown meat not taste like ass. Still get your protein. And then I'll get to see, the way my body responds. If you see me starting to feel like absolute trash and I'm slurring my words and I'm no longer showing up for love and I, gain excessive amounts of weight and my health declines, and you're like, yeah, that doesn't look like it's working. And then I'll also be like, yeah, this doesn't feel like it's working. I get to stop. Doing the thing that kills us. But I'm willing to be a puppet, a guinea pig, test dummy, I think is the best word, maybe. Car time, blue, green, orange. I'm looking for that one, Corey. Fruit Cup definitely listened to a lot of metal before she was born. You think I could get a card, Melty? Feel like I need some direction. I'll pull one for you too, Brother Bear. Can babies hear in the womb? They can. Isn't it loud? in there with all of the fluids swishing around. It is. It's cool that you know that, Joy V. That's really cool that you know that. It is actually super loud in a baby in the womb. Like so loud that apparently they could probably make out whole conversations, like in detail. Like, go and look it up. It's really cool. Very smart, Joy V. Your brain is big, yo. It's like being underwater, kind of muffled. It is kind of muffled, but it is loud, right? That is the weird thing. Like the vibrations do very like transfer very well. The inner ear is one of the first things that formed, right? How cool. Okay, let's put a card. This one is for all of us. This one, actually, this I think two coming, right? Yeah. Okay. So this one is for all of us. This one is for Connor. Let's see. All of us. Connors. Ooh, what? Hmm. So Connor, this is yours, dude. We got Divine Mother again. Like the fact that I tripped out about mothers. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's the other way around. I think this might be the card for the stream, and this might be yours then, right? Because I feel like the synchronicity is telling me otherwise. And even though I said one thing, I now have to change my mind. I feel exactly because usually I wouldn't. I'd be like, no, I thing. I understand what the thing. And now I'm changing my mind. This one is yours, Brother Connor. You got the Jade Meander, oh, butterflies, and the rest of our friends. The stream got the Divine Mother. I did pull your card upside down, but I'll read you both meanings. So your upside down meaning for Jade Meander is whew, something feels out of sync. Reflect on the flow of your day and see if any adjustment would bring greater harmony. Or last night or the night before, right? Something feels out of sync. Reflect on the flow of your days and see if any adjustment would bring greater harmony. For embedded in this card is a beautiful meandering crop formation. The feel of this geometry is similar to the way life force moves through the human energy system. The meandering pathway conveys balance and harmony. Green jade vine and two butterflies amplify the elegance and harmony of this scene. Connor, choosing this card reminds you to notice beauty all around you every day and to take it into your being as one way of creating greater harmony and accord in your life. See how even a stormy day is filled with splendor. Observe the exquisiteness of any one of your personal objects as if for the first time. I like doing the cup. Look at something like for the first time, like the first time you're ever seeing it. Even your own hand is a personal object. Give your attention to the harmonies in music. Even more accurate, huh? And realize you can experience them as multidimensional. Notice how even such a simple observation transforms your perceptions. Hold an awareness of beauty and harmony in your heart long enough to generate a feeling you can personally associate with each one. Observe this feeling and realize you can consciously recall it at any time you need a bit of harmony to ease the stress of your day. Walk in beauty and flow with the harmony of the spheres. There you go, Connor. Get wrecked, oh. Accept the beauty, oh. The change. The change is beautiful, right? To attach it to today's stream topic as well. The change is beautiful. Can babies? Yeah. I think speaking of moms, did you have a good time with your grandma on her birthday, Melty? We watched a movie, and I got to give grandma some cake. So yeah, I think so. think it was a good time. Didn't feel very eventful. Grandma was like getting called up. Like people have been like people was literally calling my grandma all day. She knows people. Hey, Dama Beauty and Dapel. Sorry for missing you, friends. We're live on YouTube as well. Sorry for spacing. Divine Mother cake. I didn't. I had like a sliver of it. Sliver, like a little like if you were to cut the cake, right, and it creates like edges. I took the edge of the cake, but it was nice. Damn freaking sugar. And today, instead of eating excessively, I ate a little bit of dried meats, and I had this moment where I wanted to, eat, a proper meal. But I just couldn't get myself to cook something, so I just had a proper keto coffee, and that set me right. We're gonna read Divine Mother next. I don't know if Connor is here. I don't know if he was here to hear that card even, but I'm sending you vibes, dude, even if you're not. We're gonna read this final card. Divine Mother, activation, celebration. Today's energy. The change. The divine feminine is the change. The divine mother is the change, right? The masculine is the observer. And it doesn't have to be, right, genitals, it's polarity. Polarity, right? There is in your world self and other, right? The self is the observer, other is the observed. Polarity. Divine Mother is what we're observing. Mama Gaia as the whole of the Divine Mother. You. This body is Divine Feminine, right? Because you are observing it. I seriously have been trying to implement this understanding in my life. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I look at myself like a lover. I know that sounds weird, but as I would love my feminine partner one day, I love myself, right? What would I say to my feminine partner if I saw her, right? And then ask myself, are you saying the same things to yourself? Like if, for instance, sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you're fat. You need to lose weight. If I said that to my divine feminine, that wouldn't be very lovingly of me as the observer, would it? Because surely I can see something, but that still doesn't change my reaction to it, the way that I'm going to give energy to it. So celebration, an activation of the divine feminine that is you, this body, this life experience you're having is feminine. Observe, see the feminine, please. Here we celebrate, celebrate. Oh my goodness, celebrate the Divine Mother. Oh my god, I'm getting freaking. I'm getting so melted. My ego is like, bah! My higher self is bah! She is the divine matrix who abides in the heart of every being, as your heart. The champion compassion giver, and she compels forgiveness. Divine Mother is a vital, dynamic, and powerful reality honored by cultures around the planet, named Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Isis, and the Green Tara, to name just a few. A modern day personification of this vitality is Indian born humanitarian Amachi. She's regarded by many to be an incarnation of the Divine Mother and is often referred to as the Hugging Saint. She has spent most of the past 25 years celebrating life by hugging anyone who approaches her. Choosing this card celebrates the divine feminine aspect of God within you and asks you to activate your direct knowledge of the self as pure, luminous, all pervading non duality. This remembrance set in motion the awareness that there is no separation. You are an integral part of spirit. Take a few moments from your day to celebrate your recognition of oneness with spirit. Know that as you activate this awareness, you help bring about greater understanding that we as human beings are not separate, but rather interconnected and one with all of creation. Thank Divine Mother for the celebration of oneness. Celebration of oneness. I'm so happy to be one with you, Joy Lee. I'm so happy to be one with you, and like the fact that you call me out, Melty salivating over the divine feminine. Yes, literally. I was like really like deeply tripping out about that. I was like, yeah, yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. I have a little bit of a crush on Mama Gaia. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, JV. Shot through the heart. This card was insane. Thank you, Brother Bear. The music part was dead on. Transforms the mind. You asked and you receive, Brother Bear. I'm so happy that we could choose change. Right? Choose change and it can be beautiful. So specific to you. I thought you enjoyed cooking. I do. I do enjoy cooking. I'm thinking we're talking about the lab grown meats thing. Like, oh, we're talking about not wanting to cook something. I do enjoy cooking, but I don't know if I necessarily always enjoy cooking the same thing, right? Because unfortunately, coming along with ketosis, your options do kind of shrink, and there's a lot of eggs being consumed. There's so much eggs. Because it's 50-50 protein to fat ratios, and it has a lot of beta carotenes, right, and carotenoids, I believe, and vitamins, so many. So it's good for me, and I'm very aware of it. But eating eggs again isn't always very inspiring, especially not directly after eating tiramisu, right? For the previous meal I had. So it's like, yes, tiramisu, and then coming back to eating keto again, eggs. And eggs usually inspire great enthusiasm in me, but I have to be hungry, right? Hunger is the best chef. Anything tastes amazing if you're hungry. And I get hungry once a day when I break my fast, right? Like it's a cyclical thing to me. It makes me feel a little bit more free. I don't have to worry about eating food for the rest of my day because I feel it's too time consuming. Like cooking is great, but cooking 3 times a day, that that's like 3 hours out of my day. And then it's not even including the eating time. And then I have no time to do the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So, yeah, intermittent fasting plus keto work well for me personally. Personal perspective. So I like the idea of looking at oneself from the perspective of someone who loves you. Thank you for sharing and inspiring. Who needs tears? And realize that that's how I see you too, right? You are that feminine. Everything is. Pippi is. The kitties are. My devices, technically, unfortunately, are feminine as well. Everything, literally everything into me. And anything I can perceive is feminine, right? Even other dudes. That has messed with my beautiful as well, dude. And I'm like, yeah, I do. But I feel like that's an important important little metric to measure myself against, right? Like there is some polarity that still needs to happen, a certain amount of polarity. I guess that's the thing as well, right? Like, and if you would like to read a book that is like very focusing on this whole point, read The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. And I know it sounds kind of misogynistics. Bear with me. They kind of like go into man again as observer, not dangling, if you will. So it really is this perspective that we as the observer wants this polarity, right, of self and other, right? And for instance, Christian, I am deeply in love with that dude. Deeply. Like I don't have I didn't realize I could love someone as deeply as I could love that dude. And he is part of the reason I love the way that I do right now because he showed me that I can really love a person. And the reason I love him as much as I do is because I see myself, right? I see so much of myself, so many of the fractals that he's thinking about, so many of the things that he's going through, the work he does. So I love myself when I see him. And we've had this conversation and we've taken 5 grams of mushrooms together and sit off our knees against one another's and pushed our foreheads against one another. But there is no want to merge with him, right? There's no calling from my deepest soul to merge with his because I feel it would just be myself, right? So there has to be polarity, and that's why we find ourselves in this divine feminine, divine masculine dance. The polarity is kind of what we're here for. And yet there is oneness, right? There is non duality that we can come together and create another. It's like a self fulfilling prophecy. We asked for infinity, and now we're getting it ceaselessly. The information, the information of the Divine Mother. Literally language, sounds, feminine as well. Oh no, wind sounds overpowering. Thank you for letting me, Joy V, letting me know, Joy V, letting me stop the wind sounds. I am guided. Do not step in any thorns. That sound is my dad flying a drone. He managed to buy a drone for the business because he does survey work where they take like pictures from above and they stitch them together so people have like maps so they can map stuff, I guess. And I don't think he's used that toy in a long time because he doesn't have time to do survey work anymore, which I guess is a good change, which I'm happy for him. My tummy doesn't like eggs. It is very rich. I have to be in the mood to have eggs. Sometimes they're just not my jam. I understand completely. Have some steak and eggs. Maybe have a day or two with some beans. That's not a bad idea, actually. Just changing it up helps. Egg wedgies. I love eggs. I have the little egg cooker my mom brought me, and I eat a lot of boiled eggs. Eggs are really good for you, right? From a nutrient perspective, sure, the things that the chickens eat can vary and can definitely create a difference in energy. But generally, they're pretty good for you. I'm tripping out about responsibility, right? Change. Because we've gone through like whole fractals of, yeah, eggs are great for you. Actually, eggs are the devil. Actually, eggs are great. Actually, eggs are the devil again. And it's really this almost like getting brain raped by information where you're ceaselessly confused and you don't know what's true, right? That was the joke of the amount of information we got as well, the change in that, right? We used to be uneducated masses that doesn't actually know how things work, and now how things work is available to us, but so is everything else. And it's almost like now the good information gets lost in so much noise. Yeah, I believe for me, eggs are good right now. And I am open to change if that day comes. I don't have to build an identity around the things that I eat. I remind myself of that as well. Who got beans? I've been missing our beans, but there is no grasping. Wishing for things to be differently begets suffering. So I can be happy that you are here with me now, or I can wish for things to be differently with another friend being here now as well, right? And I have suffered. I have suffered too much, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? How about you stop doing that? How about you stop? No, pointing at myself in the mirror right now, going Spider-Man meme. Okay, wait a second. Breakfast is the best meal of the day. I love breakfast for dinner, pancakes and one. I also basically I eat brunch. That's not like my thing. I eat brunch and then I'm done. Uh, I thought about Christian yesterday when I found a recipe for cockroach repellent. Fantastic. I'll share that with him. That's beautiful. He's been writing. He's really been writing. He's almost done with his book. Like something snapped in his brain. He went beast mode. I'm proud of him. Like Christian is creating. Do know, dear friends. Do know. You gonna play with drone with that? I've already played drone with that. I feel it loses its novelty once you're like, oh, sick. I can control a 3D object that thrusts air using electrons, using a using two little sticks, that turns this thing like this, or like this, or like this. And then I can, with my little stick thingies, manifest a 3D object in space and time. And I'm like, my brain is melting. And then I'm like, okay, I understand. Doesn't make it any less crazy, but I feel maybe I should start using it for videos. Friends like that. I'm gonna make so many videos this year. I'm kind of tripping myself out about it. I'm thinking about maybe no, I'm not gonna do that. But I really want to. I'm thinking about like maybe live streaming the yoga as well, instead of taking a video of it, editing it, and then publishing it to YouTube. And technically, I should do that, right? Again, with the change, I should do that because then it gets classified as a video and not alongside my live streams, where the live streams can be this, and then the videos can be something else, right? Right. But this is but because I'm basically it's just like the amount of work. I'm thinking about the electrons. Okay, I'm being so compassionate towards Mama Gaia with all of her work that she's doing, running around for me. So I think of it from the perspective: if it's a live stream, technically the whole process is one thing. The taking the video and uploading it to the internet is simultaneous and seamless. Where now the seam is me taking that video, cutting the front of it off, cutting the back of it off, changing the color values, adding a little text start screen, messing with audio, and then rendering, and then having rendered, uploading, and then descriptioning. This is me. I am not a victim. I am choosing. I believe every single yoga stream contains value, right? Even though it's the exact same thing. Maybe that's the thing that I'm thinking about. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna try hard. I'm gonna try hard. I'm gonna try extra hard. You should totally make drone videos. I will. It's just like I'm trying to think about how I'm doing that. Right? Maybe I can have a drone shot come into my face and then put the camera down and be like, hey, how about this weather? I don't know what to say, and yet I know I'm supposed to do scripts and stuff, and then I trip myself out about that. Even like listening to the meditation streams, I feel like I'm a robot. I'm like, why does my voice sound like that? Do I sound like that? Why do I sound so robotic? It's because I'm reading something. I'm not channeling, and if I channel, then I get lost. Maybe I should just have footnotes. Okay, I'm taking feedback. I'm taking it. That would be pretty cool. You literally flying in like a drone and then getting into a spot, and then that spot is the angle you watch from. Because it is a meditation video, right? Technically, it's not supposed to be very entertaining. You're supposed to meditate. And I'm so painfully aware of that as well. I'm like, wait a second. People aren't meditating, dude. You do realize like meditation very much is not the most dopaminergic way to spend your time on the internet right now, dude. Neither is yoga. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this for the dopamine. No, I'm doing this because it's important. Just logicking myself into doing things. It's like playing chess, right? Because the feminine really likes to stay bound, right? And that's, I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'm thinking about it from like the body. A body at rest likes to stay at rest, right? And the body is the physical. The physical is the feminine. Your body wants to stay at rest, and then the observer can choose to go and observe something else. And it takes energy. Wat sien op met de drone? Aha, is goed. Mensen zeggen ik moet die drone gaan gebruiken video's. Zal ik niet slecht idee nie. Ek sê dat ding wat ek dalk kan doen is om die drone in te vlieg, om op 'n spot te sit en dan 'n kamera neer te sit en dan vanaf te film. So dan lyk dit asof die persoon letterlik invlieg en dan 'n spot kom sit en kyk. Ja, het sal cool wees. Die wat? Ek het hulle lanklaas gesien. Ja, lang hulle actually. As een van hulle ten minste. Sorry about that. Nose noise. Beans. Do you like beans? You take a survey about beans. Breakfast is the best meal of the day. I love breakfast and dinner. Pancakes, anyone? I haven't had pancakes in a while, actually. You gotta be either high functioning or hungover for eggs to sound good first thing in the morning. It's hilarious. Breakfast and dinner. I mean, bacon and eggs really is a vibe to me. I'm not gonna lie about that. But bacon apparently is not that great for you either. And the amount of pickling, right? Apparently. Happy chickens, happy eggs, exactly. Feed them, hemp seed, ooh, and they'll make crazy orange eggs. There we go. That's some big brain, Corey. Our ancestors aren't stupid. Knowledge I accumulate are ever changing. Exactly. I miss Beansy too. I really have been missing her. It's been hurting, to be completely honest. But I'm like, bro, I can't force anything. I can't expect anything. I can only love, right? And I'll continue to. And if we see her again soon, there will be nothing but love coming from me too. You should totally make drone videos. I will for sure. What do you mean? She's going through changes and adjusting, friends. I know, right? And she's showing up in the same way that all of us are. Doing the life, right? We're all just doing the life thing. Humaning. Eat food. Sleep. Try to stay sane. Oh, I adore you all as we do you, Joe Schmo. So much, Brother Bear. Just knowing you're here, man. All of the stuff we've gotten to share before. It's happy to share this moment with you too. Do you mean you know what to say? You come on here daily and talk for hours sometimes. What do you mean you don't? I don't know. Like, the thing is, unfortunately, good morning, Brother Bear. It's nice having you here, dude. Unfortunately, I'm exposed to the internet, right? So I don't know that I got what it takes to be viral, right? And that doesn't bother me because that's not my incentive. My incentive is to help whoever sees this right now, right? The number doesn't matter because you are a whole. You are an infinity. And if I can say something that can change your life, right? And one of my biggest inspirations in the world is Alan Watts, Terence McKenna, Ram Dass, right? These dudes chose to say things, share their experiences. And me, some dude, living on a farm in South Africa, getting surrounded by people that play rugby. Something's trying to pair with me. Nia, I don't want to pair with anyone, thank you. Uh, got to be exposed to information that changed my life, right? That I would have never in my existence, if not for the internet and for our technology, had access to ideas like that. And because I could learn, right, could listen to another person's perspective, it helped me gain more perspective on my own. And here we are as a result of that, right? And I'm one person. I'm just one person. Like Terence McKenna doesn't know who I am. He's literally dead. So is Ram Dass. So is Alan Watts. They're not even here with us anymore. And yet I carry them in my heart because they matter to me. They've been teachers to me. And it's the same thing with you, friends, right? That it doesn't matter how many of us there are, every single one of us matter, right? In the same like other side of the loop of the one drop fractal. Like if a single drop of water falls to the ground, you're not going to say, "Oh, it's raining," right? Like it has to like a bunch of drops have to fall. But if every single drop doesn't fall, then it's not rain, or at least every single drop that fell became the rain as a unity. You matter, friend. You will make a ripple as this raindrop. Nourish a plant, nourish the tree of life, if you will, right? Rooted, stability, as you're sitting, standing, literally attached to gravity. The ability to breathe, that you've never been resistant of letting go of your breath, worried that there won't be another breath waiting. Heartbeat, constantly. Feeling yourself rooted in that. And then that energy moving into sacral energy, orange. The first one was red. Your emotionality, sexuality, even. Polarity, we can say as well. The part of you that feels things, right? If you didn't consider yourself a part of the whole, you wouldn't be allowed the amount of depth that you can feel with, right? If I did this and bit myself, I feel a certain way about that, but I'm not that offended. If Pippi bit me, right, just came up to me and then bit down on my finger, I'd probably not feel the same way about that, right? And it's because I consider myself separate. So instead of seeing it as evil or trying to completely collapse it, we can just acknowledge that it allows us to feel something. And that feeling things is what we're here for. To realize that you can feel with purpose and watching this energy move up more still. Self confidence, willpower, right? That you have stability and you have the ability to feel things, to pursue sexuality, if you will. And then you have willpower to control these things, right? Almost have to stand on your feet, that is your root itself, to be able to have the thicket of the tree, the log of the tree, right? So that part of you is the part that stands up for yourself. That's willpower. That's powerful. Literally, this the energy center of your being. It's the fire that burns inside of you. And the orange is like it goes from red, then orange, then it goes into yellow, right? So this bright sun burning in the center of you can be powerful. You can melt people with it. Literally, people can kill other people when they can become too obsessed with that power. And unfortunately, where we are and have been for a long time during our humanity is stuck in these first three cycles, right? I need stability. I need to have a place to sit and be safe. I need emotionality, feeling, conversation with friends, sexuality, a family. And then I need willpower. I need to do things, goals, structure, you know, hierarchy. And then this energy can grow more still, right? Otherwise, you're just a barren tree standing without leaves. You can grow these green leaves, and it is your green heart energy, the part of you that's compassionate, the part of you that feels love for something that just isn't just those things, right? You can love compassionately your doggos. It's green. It is Mother Nature's love to you. Literally chlorophyll. It means this photosynthesis happening, oxygen and sugar. Letting yourself love from that perspective. And then seeing this tree of yours grow fruits. I like to imagine them blue because the throat chakra is blue, right? That's why this little mushroom is also blue with little purple speckles. It's like blue energy with some third eye energy sprinkled into it, right? So seeing these fruits grow from your tree of life as the drop that is your, essence. Imagine what fruits you create. That every single word, like the frequencies you say, become these divine little encapsulations, like fruits that you're offering, giving to another person. What fruits are you giving? Are you offering fruits of love, of kindness, of encouragement, of inspiration? Or are you giving people sour fruits, bitter fruits, rotten fruits, right? This is not a judgment. This is just perspective. We're talking about a tree here. And then too, some of them will be sour and bitter. Some of them will be hard to eat, right? What's funny to me is that we become obsessed with bad fruit. Someone says something bad to you, you keep eating it day after day. You think about it over and over again. Oh, this fruit sucks. Eat more of it. Let it fall to the ground. Let it become a part of your root system, a part of the stability that is you, that you could be stable regardless of these rotten fruits. It will literally become a part of the ground. Microorganisms will eat it, and then you will eat those microorganism poops. And then see that energy move to your third eye, color purple, the part of you that has insight. Think about that, right? You can see inside. I can tell you, think back to when you were a kid, a favorite moment, right? Maybe let's actually connect to one that probably a lot of us could share. Think back to the way you felt as a kid when you would hear an ice cream truck, tune in your street. Right? So now we could see inside of ourselves, like layers and layers going inside where you used to be a child, right? Like you literally have this ability to see the fractals of yourself that you've been, and you can see the fractals of yourself that you could be. And then ultimately, you are connected. Technically, the flower has to come first before the fruit can form. You have to receive energy before you have the ability to share to someone. And yet, we do. That flower is literally a gift to the world. You, right? The smells that a flower can create. And yes, it needs to be pollinated. sea needs to come along, or maybe the help of the wind, cosmic energy. The we. I love you, friends. It's so nice to be able to share moments like these. We're growing, all of us collectively. It really is a lot sometimes, and it feels like a job, and it is. You're here for a reason, right? Out of all of the places you could have been, why did you choose to incarnate here? Why now? If you are divine consciousness, I don't underestimate you, and I believe you're wise, wise enough to have chosen this life. Find out why. We'll save the world together. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Oh, and it's gonna be divine. It's really gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it more and more every day. Let me get back to the comments. Sorry, we had to channel. Mm, viral isn't necessarily a good thing. I know, Joe. I know, and I'm painfully aware of that. Right? I think about as a beautiful example of that, like Andrew Tate. I'm sorry to even say his name. I really am. I'm seriously like it hurts. It hurts me deeply to say his name because that's what he wants me to do, right? And I know that, and I know that, and that's why he's viral right now. Is because he is so polarizing. It's not necessarily a good thing, but he understands what he's doing, and a lot of people admire that. And who am I to say that that's bad? I would like to believe there are other ways. I feel like the amount of polarity between me and him makes me want to fight him for some reason. But that's also what he wants. Oh, the trips. We're like human beings, and he's also the divine, right? He's also the same observer we all are. That's the trip. He's just come to different conclusions, and it makes me sad sometimes. We're all just trying to teach one another. Some of us have beautiful approach. You, for example, don't flatter me, dude. You, all of us. I'm like seriously. I honestly believe this. You cannot see what I am if that's not what you are, right? It's like a recognition. It's like a seeing of the self. It's like looking at the mirror. That's what I believe this is. Like otherwise, you just be like. That's the way I feel at least. Oh, okay. Let me get back to it. Gratitude and appreciation for the words that come to mind. Love you, but the bear. Thank you for tuning with me into that space. We're dropping in the ocean, and the ocean is in every drop. We're drops in the ocean, and the ocean is in every drop. Yes. Yes, Shan. Thank you for sharing that. Sushi and cranberry juice, honey, wheat bread for breakfast. That sounds so diverse. That's amazing. My baba bit me on the boob yesterday morning. It wasn't the vibe, you see, Joy V. And you got to experience that novelty, the experience of getting boob bit. I've never been boob bit myself, so you're one upping me. How dare you? Come on, bite my boob, please. I wanna I wanna feel. Sorry. Okay. Where did I leave off? Breakfast with jams, raw fish, raw juice, and a few add-ons. Yeah, it's energy food. Raw fish, raw juice. Like my mind is not having a. Oh, the sushi. Yo, dude. Unfortunately, my mind went watching Joe Schmo like debone a fish, taking the fish chunks, dropping it in the blender with his juice, and then blending it together and then drinking that. That's where my mind went reading that sentence. I'm so sorry. Oh, and it was like, oh, please. Add-ons, just reading and imagining your satisfaction gives my thumbs good yawns. I get to go out on the Atlantic Ocean in 2 days. It will be in the blue for a couple of days. I'm very excited. No terra firma. It's exciting. Love you, dude. Please do vicariously experience that moment. Not a lot of us get to. I still get that excitement when I hear the ice cream truck. Me too, unfortunately. It's like feels like brainwashing as well. Definitely getting some ice cream when we get some stuff for fruit cup. Ice cream truck. You see inside. Ice cream truck with shouting and running out. Stop it. Yeah, ice cream, we're screaming ice cream for ice cream. One day you like desperately clawing at, $1 from your mom so you can go and buy something. Y'all got any recommendations? Not it re whoa, 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 whoa. I love sharing time and energy with all of you. It repays my spirit tenfold. Thank you, Brother Bear, for taking these moments. Like it really is, it's flattering. Seriously. Thank you. Like I'm just happy that I can share this moment with you. Not wise enough to pick a natural deodorant that doesn't bring out a rash, apparently. Y'all got any recommendations? Have you seen those bars of salt? They're like basically bars of salt, and apparently it helps. That's one of the natural ones, and they mix it with aloe vera. Apparently, I don't know if that helps. I hope so. I don't know what this world's gonna do, but I know one thing: that this isn't the life for me. Who needs tears? Joy Viva used earth science. It's like based. Have you tried it? Earth science. That's the stuff. Dude is hemmed up in a Romanian jail, getting all his money and cars repoed. Dude isn't exactly what I call wise. Yeah, I'm not, praising him at all. I'm saying he understood what he was doing. All right. What he was doing was stupid. Sorry if I said wise. I completely apologize. I wasn't idolizing him at all, not even remotely. No, his views on women, as I said, is like 100% polar to what I believe, and it makes me want to beat his ass. Like, oh yeah, and he probably would smash me into the ground. Like that's the joke as well. So I have to get stronger. So yeah, and now making women sell their bodies and then taking a cut of their revenue. Like imagine that other people sell their bodies and then you take money for it. That's so far beyond me. And I really hope that we get to see as a collective humanity that there are other things to prioritize than sex and money. Sure, I guess they can be helpful for procreation and building things, but we can't procreate and build things if we don't have one another, right? So prioritize one another, sex and money. But this has to come first, yo. We have to take care of one another first, and then we can take care of the rest of the shit. Please, oh, please, relax. Put down the sex and the money, please. Pick up the together. Humanity, please, please, humanity. Like trying to coax this one toy for the other toy. Humanity holding a loaded gun, child. Uh, what should I put Clarisol under my arms? Yes, my dear. I'll try out tears. Thanks. Thank you for the sharing. I don't blend my fish. I just eat them. Please no with the blending. I was just sharing my fractal. The last comment was for you, Joy V. Try tears. Joe over there making he's a slurry from The Simpsons. No. Big love to everyone that I didn't directly address. Thank you, Joe. You're here. We feel your presence. Like a few of our friends, never says anything. And I think about you too. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I do believe you do. You don't have to say anything to make this moment significant. Take a moment to realize if not for you, there is no moment. Acknowledge that. Honor that part of yourself and notice the change. That moment is gonna ebb and flow. I lurked for so long before I started joining in, and it's been a blessing having your presence, dear friend. I love you so much. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my presence with you. I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow. No more than 24 hours from now, I'm gonna manifest back into this moment. I'm gonna exist once again for the interwebs. Joy Vive, I'm late to the deodorant conversion. But what helped me in ditching the stick entirely was washing with vinegar and water. Yes, really. I do guess it takes care of those, organisms that create, the funky smellies. What Joe said, glad you did, JP, doing the real stuff, right? Because your skin is eating. It's like, think about that. Your skin is eating. You put stuff in your skin and disappears. That's because your skin ate it. It's like, yeah, give that. Give it to me. So, in the same way that we pay attention to the things we eat with our faces, we should pay attention to the things we eat with our skin as well. Vinegar, not just for French fries. Yeah, it's bacteria that makes it smelly. Yep. Bacteria dead, smell gone. The more you know. And vinegar isn't that acidic, at least not to skin. You can get away with that without getting harmed. If it's good enough to scrub boats with, it's good enough to scrub me with. Your friends make me so happy. Thank you for joining me here too. I'm sorry that I missed you. I'll see you friends again soon. Say bye, kitty. Say bye. Meow. Or say bye. She's like, nah, fam. I'm gonna sit here majestically, like a little lion, staring over infinity. Ain't got no time for your jokes. Ain't got no time for your meows. Warm heart, full bellies, and plates holding nourishment for all of you. Give me that cat. No, it's my cat. It's my cat. Love you, friend. Thank you for joining me again. I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow. Love you.